but independent. Because I mean, see where we are. I mean, we're still backward because our mentality is backward, and that's why I like my childhood friend Lawrence Krumner Bropley. You got to change the mind. You got to change the attitude. Those things you got to clean them. The mind and the attitude. If we don't take care of those things, we will continue to retrogress. We will continue to go backward and backward and backward. So,
but every time people say, okay, yeah, it's because of the war we're here, but other countries fought war, and today they're fast developing.
Look at Rwanda.
Yeah, I was
Look at
just going to
Rwanda.
make a
Rwanda is a
reference
case. I mean, Rwanda has become this country now that everybody runs to get they are a model of success. Education. Look at sanitation in Rwanda. I mean, if you Emmanuel walked in Rwanda and you drop this sheet of paper, that will be the only sheet of paper on the streets of Rwanda, because I mean it's as clean.
But it all boils down to the mindset.
Yeah, but that's why the changing minds and changing attitude. So it all boils down to the mindset. We have to change the mindset. If you don't change the mindset, of course, then you know what. Now, I mean, and I really hope that my childhood friend, maybe Governor Bopley, if you're listening to us, just give us a call so that we touch on some of these things, and also, even though we have other topics, just Governor Bopley, give us a call so that we can expand a little bit, 5-10 minutes of your time on changing minds.
And I like it. He's just bold, and these are the harsh realities.
And he's doing a heck of a job. And Liberians, just hope that we can listen. We can listen. To some of these
because
things.
Sometimes it's not about the government of the day, it's about we the people. Because you know what, even if the government brings all of the good policies and the citizens are not adhering to these different measures or policies, it won't work. Because even if the government say, hey, don't do that, if the citizen goes and they do the other way, will not succeed in our pursuit of a good country. Because at the end of the day, it is about the citizens. Because the government just supervises and coordinates, but it has to do with change of behavior. Like I was saying, just on the show yesterday, we were talking about garbage control. Everybody just throw there anywhere, anyhow, and you don't with no remorse. They do it like it's just a normal way of life.
Then they will tell you, if we don't throw garbage on the ground, how will people find job to do? I mean, that's silly. That's silly, because you know what? The money you would take to keep getting equipment, manpower, other stuff, that could have been used for other.
The country is already challenged. Almost every sector needs some attention.
Exactly, and the place moreover is dirty, and has always been dirty, and it's still because we still have the mindset that we should drop garbage everywhere, and that's why sometimes. In some community, I don't feel sorry for people. I mean, I'm being brutally frank. I don't feel sorry for people when they say their homes are flooded.
We're having a very huge rain now.
Because you know what? They take the plastic bag, they drain the bag from the plastic and throw it away. Just a few days ago, I was driving on the Ralphie Highway. And people were riding in the taxi. They took the peelings from sugarcane and threw it through the window. So you know what I did? I chased the guy and I just caught right in front of him. He stopped. I said, now get down and pick that here. Oh, the eye alone you see. What the eye alone you see? What about all the ones? I said, no, I saw you. I didn't see the people. The others have seen it. If everybody stops and say, you know what, people say, my man, not man alone. And then sometimes you see people taking turn lanes, and I want to be on the record. I've detained, maybe for lack of better, I've detained legislators in the traffic, because if you are coming from work, I understand. Tuesday and Thursday, I understand. Or you are coming from work, but you are going to session. Okay, let's say you're heading to town. Regardless whether you go to session, I will forgive you. But if you are coming from session and you're in you take the opposite lane, I will detain you. I've done that to government officials. I've done that to several people before. And some legislators look at my car and say, "You are mark you." I say, "No, don't mark me. I'm Hassan Kero. Let me call my name to you." Because why would you want to take the opposite lane? You could kill somebody. You could hurt somebody.
The country already not many rules.
Yeah, not many rules.
Sometimes because the third link, you see, the traffic is always because there's no freeway. Everybody is stuck.
And then you know what I normally do when I stop in front, when I block you, I give a little room to jump in the lane. Now, if I tell you 2 times, the third one I come very close to them, you have to now reverse because I will not reverse. So I did it to a senator. I won't call the name. I won't call the name. I was leaving JFK one time. On 18th Street. The guy got in my lane because I was leaving work. I was going to heading town.
Yeah.
He leaving town, heading that way. So he came right before me, and I said, "Please get in the lane." He said, "Oh man, move the D car, man." Started insulting me. I said, "I will insult you at your own expense. If you put me, I'll insult you, and you are not there to insult me. One more time." Come to find out, he had a little girl in his car, maybe bluffing. He had her legs, her legs up on the dashboard, and the tinted. And I looked at her. I said, "Oh." So I said, "They making you frisky."
That morale.
Yeah, morale. So I will reduce that morale. So you know what I did? Since you don't want to reverse or you don't want to get in the lane, I went very close to his car and I parked the car. Move the car. I said, "I will not move it." Then the police came to me. Police said, "Sir, what is going on?" I said, "Don't you see the person in my lane?" He said, "What is going on?" Go there to they're afraid to approach the senator. But I'm not afraid of you. Man, come on. I elected you. I pay your bills. I pay everything. I will be afraid of you. I can't be afraid of a senator or a lawmaker because I paid your bill. I pay you. So I'm your boss. You are not my boss. You serve me. So if all of us have that mentality, if I pay you,
sometimes it's unnecessary. Everybody, well, I'm so down. The place is noisy. You don't know who's who. Everybody using. But I think that has been limited a bit.
But I said this again. I said it before. If the police director, inspector general, can stay in line, he has siren, he has security from Broadway all the way and get to the police station. He doesn't use the opposite lane. Who are you that you can use? You can get in queue. The police director.
Most of the lane and siren can be used by some of our government officials.
Yeah,
some of them use it. I don't know whether it's constitution because everybody is just using siren. I don't know that sometimes even when they're coming from work, they still want to force their way through and cause a lot of traffic.
And those things have security risks. But I'll have a sit down with the IG maybe today or one of these days to talk about the security risk, because I can't say that on the air.
Yeah, sure.
There are certain things I have seen, and you can't see that on the air because everybody's listening. The criminals themselves can listen. They probably listen more than us, to discuss some of these things so that we are protected. All these people with the siren, this and that. I'm a big man or whatnot. So those are security risks, and I will discuss that. Some of the things I've seen some bad stuff. I'll have to talk about them, but I can't talk about it on the air.
But the Ministry of Public Works has a lot to do. The issue of this zooming thing is a very crucial issue. Oftentimes we're in the heat of the rainy season and you see people complaining and crying for flooding. Sometimes some of the floodings are man-made. You know why? If you went and built in the waterways, for example, you went and built in the drainage, how do you expect the water to have easy passage to leave? So when the rain falls and the place gets flooded, you see that, the water is finding a free passage. At the end of the day, the homes, sometimes we have to be intentional about how we build our houses and our homes, especially where to build.
And you see, and that is where I have problems sometimes with our leaders. I want to say that I'm not talking about the presidency, but government.
The sector heads,
sector heads. We every government that comes in, we promise that we'll do that. We need to break these homes down. That is a no. Because you know what? It created a lot of problem for us. People are building in the waterway. People are building in wetlands and not supposed to build that. So as a result, once they build in those places, Then when these rains come, place is flooded. There are no way for the emergency vehicles to enter and rescue people.
Rescue people.
For instance, 2019 or 18, there were some deaths in the word Islamic school.
Yeah, right in Pinsville.
In Pinsville. And President Weah had gone there to sympathize with the people. And what he found out was that no easy passage to even get emergency vehicle to get there. So probably the president probably would have gone to further, but no easy passage. And so there's a need to break these structures down and restrict people and find them. But
sometimes too, it boils down to the issue of information. Because, for example, if Hassan, you want to build a house, you need to go to the Ministry of Public Works. I think they have a special unit there that's responsible for ensuring that they advise.
Yeah. They have a special unit to do that. Even they do soil testing and testing. They test the toxicity of the soil. I mean, it's a common word in agriculture as well. Toxicity of the soil. They test the soil to make sure that this place is habitable and what you need to do to do XYZ. And then you can build in certain places. Go to Sierra Leone, where I grew up in. Go to Sierra Leone. You can go to Sierra Leone, they say number 25 Prince William Street. All you need to know is to know the area in which that street is located. Nobody needs to tell you. You see the sign there, Prince William Street, and you can go. You see all the houses numbered, and cars can go in between every house because there is a space between one house and the other one. The other house is facing if at the back of the house. The other house is facing the other side. So you have streets everywhere. And cars can go freely between, everyone. But in Liberia, we don't do that.
It's not that people can even go and build in the streets.
Oh yeah, people go build in the streets. Say, my house. Then by the time somebody,
the passage, all the
people tell her, so on. But guess what? I tell people, the waterway, all the places that you are constructing your home without permission, that belongs to me too. Because the government land, government land should belong to me too. You didn't ask me for my permission, so you know what? Just break it down. And I don't feel sorry for people who build in the waterway.
What's about people who normally go and to build in the wetlands? For example, go and do the filling and put dye and start building. It's one of the several factors that really leading to the whole flooding thing. Why it is a natural, occurrence. Because some of our human activities too are causing a lot of these different.
And the EPA, the disaster management, has always said that look at. These are wetlands. These are not places to build at, but they still go ahead and do that. And then you find a disaster strikes, then everybody is running the Then they have to call the AFL because AFL too is involved with disaster management, the construction and other stuff. So go ask them. By the way, I think we've talked about a great deal about, but during the week there were a few things that also happened. The ombudsman, the ombudsman was was commissioned. So one of my friends will call ombudsman, the former director, because the ombudsman, but it's actually the ombudsman, was commissioned because of Philip, and the president, said that he hopes that because this is the guy who is ethics,
code of conduct,
conflict of interest. He makes sure that everything is doing well. But here is what the president had to say during the commissioning ceremony.
My commission and those who work in our entity will try as much as we can.
So I think it comes to the massacre.
It comes to Philip Kanga. So let's go to Philip Kanga actually, because we thought we had the president, but we had so many issues of the president speaking of the investment program.
It was a busy week for the president.
The president was as busy as a one-legged man in a hopping contest. But let's go to Philip Kanga as he talks about how he's going to handle or how he's going to operate the ombudsman.
My commission and those who work in our entity will try as much as we can to follow the ethical standard as provided in the code of conduct. leading by example, meaning as the ethics officer of the Republic of Liberia, I am to lead in a way that order will follow. Meaning, I am going to have my asset published on an annual basis, requesting the necessary authority, the library authority, to do a fair assessment of my property such that I will pay the fair and equitable value in terms of taxes. It means those who are going to be member of the ombudsman will follow suit. There's a person who can assure you that what you have actually said to us during our marching order and what you are saying here today demonstrate the new things that the Office of Ombudsman takes responsibility to enforce, investigate, oversee, monitor, and evaluate the code of conduct will be done in a fair and equitable manner.
And there's Councillor Philip Kanga they're talking about, In fact, he went further by saying that everyone should comply with the asset code of conduct, asset declaration.
Yeah.
And he praised our own David Brown Lasana. I'll say our own. She was my former boss at LBS when she was acting director general. She is the only official, she said, has complied with everything. So we give her a round of applause.
And one of the things he said, as leader, and that one of the things that the president did was to declare, not just declare, but publish his asset. So as head of that office, he said every year he will make sure.
Every year we'll see how much he has accumulated. How much he has, and so on. But he's asking everyone. In fact, the president is reiterated his call to all government officials who have not yet declared their asset to please do so. And you heard last week the Councillor Alexandria Zoe threatened to publish, or said she was going to publish names of people who have declared and those who have not declared, and some sanction was going to be placed on them, either withholding of checks or some other punishment. So those of us who have not declared our assets, we need to do.
No, the window is still open.
Yeah, of course, the window is still open, but we still have to play some catch up and do that. So the ombudsman, I think, is good, so that we don't have conflict of interest in some of our dealings. Say you give your brother a contract to do, or a family member a contract to do, or you don't put your brother in positions that others could occupy or so on. But then somebody asks a question, to me, what friends say, but then if you don't give your brother a job, how does your brother survive? So that means that your being somewhere it doesn't benefit the rest of your family, because your family must survive, and they're qualified. Then you give them the position, or should they be vetted? So that's a question for the ombudsman. I think we may have to call Councillor Philip Kanga one of these days and ask him about that. But the code of conduct and then the asset declaration, I think is a good thing, so that people know what you came with. And then at some point in time when you're exiting, we know what you're living with. Because so that if you accumulate too much wealth or accumulate wealth, they will grade you by what you earned and what are some of the activities you had to have acquired all of the things that you are going with. It's a good thing. So that we can weed or stamp out corruption from Liberia, because it's eating our very fabric.
And that's one of the things Marcin Pacquiao said. The issue of corruption has had a very devastating impact on every fabric of our country. Everywhere. The different sectors are challenged because something that is meant for a whole group of people, one man just get it pocketed.
No, one man just sit there and pocket it. He, his friends, and his buddies, and they feel that, hey, the our time.
Now, the our time mentality.
Our time usual. Hey,
sometimes I wonder that phrase, the our time. I can be thinking, the our time to chop, the our time to eat, the our time to steal, the our time. I don't know. It has so many, different.
I think it's all of the above. The our time, but I would say, if you look at the true sense of the phrase, the our time, it means the our time to serve. That should be the key word.
Our time to govern.
Our time to serve, to serve the people of Liberia, but but for them, the interpretation is different. But let's go back to the protests where the Minister of Information, Jeremy Pierre, sent out a caveat to people who still want to protest that would derail the process, the peace process, or that would derail the peace here, and also create the impression that Liberia is not safe for business.
Yes, sure.
The way to resolve the leadership conflict or issue in this country is through the democratic process. All these actions also the democratic process meant to create insecurity, to scare investors away, and to make our country to look like a nation that is not governable, will not be tolerated. And they are also meant to sway our attention away from our resolve to hold people accountable as a government, then you are mistaken. It will have zero impact on our quest to hold past leaders who breached the public trust accountable. Do you know how many persons serve in government? Do you know how many persons get elected? How many persons have been pursued? So it means that not everybody who worked for government or who work in government is involved in some criminal act. Does that mean that you who chose to do so should not be touched? Because when you are touched, you will shout which ones? Who do the investigations that are leading to these actions? Let's look at the case that has to do with 12 others. That investigation was done by the Elbc. Who are the commissioners? Who appointed them? President Walker? No. Central Bank. Report from the GSC. Who appointed the government? The governor there? Walker or President William? So these people are simply doing what they were appointed to do, irrespective of their linkages with people. And when they do their work, and prosecutors review their work and find evidences that can lead to charges being levied, no threat can stop the government from doing so.
And that's the Minister of
Information,
my own very own body, is Jeremy Matthew Pierre. And of course, he's talking about these protests or threat of protests. Those have the propensity to derail the peace, and also to give the impression that all is not well, and that
the country is ungovernable and everything.
Yeah, exactly, it's ungovernable. And in fact, this brings me to our other topic, which is the investment conference or forum that took place this week. Yeah, all this week at the EJS, which is the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. And people came from all walks. People came from England. I mean, you talked to a Liberian group that came from London, the UK, and then other people came from various parts of the world, and even here. And you saw that they're discussing how they can put Liberia back, on track, especially areas of need, looking into where to invest, the various aspects of it, and so on, which is a good thing. The fact that people are coming and people are talking, and they see some climate, they see that, oh, you know what, Liberia is a virgin area, and it needs to tap on a lot of stuff,
different area. And when these investments come, that will surely away attention on everybody wanting to be, in the government, because it helps to, make the private sector, attractive and enviable.
Yeah.
So that you not just work out, everybody wants to, maybe you won't be one civil servant or be appointed in the government. Sometimes this thing happens is because, there's no alternative,
Yeah,
So
I think that's it. I think that's the key word. There's no alternative. So everybody rushes to some government job. But if we had private sector,
maybe companies and industries moving on, people are working, get down, about that from what calling from the other abandoned district in other place. Because we're thinking about
no country develops from government. No country develops from government. You need the private sector. It's where people.
There's an engine.
Private sector is the engine that turns the wheels. But the government, no. There have been nowhere in the world where the government that makes the country grow. No, it's the private sector.
Privacy. Yeah, sure.
The government provides the enabling environment, and that's why the minister is saying that, the government is creating an enabling environment. All of us need to work with the government, so that that environment is created, and then we attract investors. They attract investors. Our justice system needs to also go fall in line.
Our different sectors need to be working so that you can give the investors some sort of security, because you don't want to invest, in an environment where it seems, not safe, because that money investment is about bringing your money and wanting to invest to make a specific impact.
And also with the enormous work the president is doing on corruption, I'm sure people who want to investors are coming, because people usually we go and try to negotiate, and they want kickbacks. And of course these kickbacks are exposing them a whole lot, and the kickbacks are hurting us. So as a result, once you start demanding kickbacks, the guys will say, you know what, I have not even started yet. My foot is not even on the ground. You start collecting thousands or millions. You're demanding that from us. What will happen to me if I just put one thing, one stop down? So so with the wave of with the stamping that the things that the president is doing, so of course I think people are taking cues. Now look here, you ask for kickback, the president just put you one side and just prosecute you, because that's corruption. You're discouraging people from coming, and we have a lot of people are unemployed. People graduate every year from various universities and other higher institutions of learning. You need these people to go to work, because if you have a population that is not working, then that's a big thing. An idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Sure.
So you want people to work. If you are not working, a lot of things come to mind. A lot of things come to mind. So as a result, you just want people.
So we can get a few calls on our talking point. At 9 o'clock, we can host the Association of Firestone Residents or residing in the Americas. That will be from 9 to 10. 077-056-7764, 08888-408658. This is the Super Morning Show. Is on the Friday's edition with me, Emmanuel Colley, and Hassan Kier. We've talked a lot of different issues, ranging for corruption, ranging about our environment, and how we can create a society that was for all. 077-056-7764. This is a Super Morning Show, and of course, it's good that you are there, and hope you can be a part of this conversation. If not, we will take a break. But let's talk to this person. Good morning. Welcome to the Super Morning Show. I know you've been following the show.
Wonderful. I'm Wendy Miller, calling from Brazil. Thanks to you, and thanks to my own big brother, Hassan Kiaou. But I just want to say that to you, Emmanuel, because you're a very young man. So going up into the profession, you don't know much about Hassan. Hassan will not say to you, or probably he has not said to you that was privileged, to come from a humble background. I think you overheard him say to you that he grew up in Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone is a very disciplined country. Very disciplined. So Hassan has carried with him for a very long period of time that sense of discipline, modesty, respect for older people. He grew up as a God-fearing person. He grew up in an environment where at that time, they took another neighbor to discipline another neighbor's child or children. Nowadays you see people going to police station, carrying their neighbors to police station because another neighbor discipline his kid or her kid from doing wrong in the neighborhood. That was never before the war years. So Hassan grew up before the war years. So Hassan has a lot of value. Like what he said, he gave a phraseology. Value is never valued only until this value is valued. You understand that?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. So that's the balance that Hassan carried with him. My own big brother. Besides that, let's go back to the point. The environment. I heard you people talking about You know, I think the National Disaster Management and the EPA are toothless bulldog. They are lame dog institution because there is no enforceable arm. See on the Somalia drive, the Capington shop and thing the market store, irregular market store. The people have once you go against nature, there are three wars. There are three wars that they have in literature where man against man against nature, and man against himself. So man has gone against nature. So nature has a natural energy of fighting back.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
See flooding all over the place. You know. So the environment must be respected. The laws and the policies and things that govern the environment must be adhered to. Like what Hassan is saying. Hassan is saying that some of these houses and things need to be broken because they are built in alleyways.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, my brother from Broadway.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay. 07705677764. This is a Super Morning Show here on ELBC Radio. Today is Friday. And of course, at 9 to 10 o'clock, we'll have the Association of Fireson Residents in the Americas to talk about different activities. Please leave from the radio, please. You kind of giving my ears some real tough time. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm just too young for that. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Oh my God. The line is. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is J. Mohammed Cohen. I call you from District 17.
Okay, Mohammed.
To be specific, I want to thank you guys very much this morning for your time, your effort, and patriotism to our country. I admire Brother Hassan. He said a lot of logical things. I was one of the agents of changing mind, changing attitude. I live in Boncape. I took that initiative because the world changing mind, changing attitude is the way forward.
Okay.
It shows patriotism. It shows the way out. Brother, I feel very bad. Yesterday made me 61 years old. I was born in Yekipa. I saw good things. I saw development. I saw what decency is like. When I entered in Monrovia, it was in Monrovia I came, I saw a dump site. Up to now, this dump, I stay padded around. And when I'm moving around, I see the place very, very filthy. So what comes in my mind, how can we really move from this site to another level? So in the intellectual forum at Nelson Mandela Intellectual Forum, I always tell the young people there, let's change our mind and change our attitude so we can move. Back to the topic of where the information minister said we have to beat ourselves. We shouldn't go on or striking and doing all kind of stuff because when we continue to do these things, we will not move nowhere. We are nowhere in development. Infrastructurally, we are nowhere. I rest assure you, advocated very strong to even have the ministerial complex built. I was one of those on Omni Radio. Augustine Hamid Brian and myself, we on under 24 sale just to make sure that something is done. I recommended to the government that we have ministries. We only have agencies, even up to now. Ministry and agency is renting. Can you believe that? So we have not been patriotic to ourselves.
Thank you.
Up to now, the government institution, they are renting them. As contrary, I feel very bad. So I mean, that's all I employ that. With everything you guys have said, we are here to some, but we got to be very strong. The president got to wake up. The institution that responsible have to wake up. They got to put their feet down high to get these things changing mind, changing attitude. I want to appreciate you guys this morning. Thank you. May God bless you and bless our country.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll take the last person on the line. Let me just take this last person. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Tell us your name.
Yeah, my brother, I beg you. I asked somebody to help me, Mr. Sir. I'm very sick now. And you please can't let me on. I beg you.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So somebody hopefully can listen. This is a Super Morning Show. We will take this short break. We'll come back. We'll go to our next guest. Keep listening and please stay there.